Hello, everybody. My name is Shannon. This is Cosmic Goddess Healing. Welcome into my beautiful divine feminines, my divine masculines, my star seeds, my soul tribe. Welcome in to anybody that feels guided or aligned to come on in and check out my videos. I hope you've had a great weekend. My weekend's been really, really good, actually. I've come off of a couple of really hard weeks. For those of you that were following my Africa journey, my Uganda trip, I had a couple of really difficult women on that trip that I was the tour host of this trip. And yeah, just really difficult personalities that I struggled with. And then I came back from that trip and into my full-time job where I am a training specialist. So I train new hires. And it was like I came back and right into a training class. And of course, one of the people in my training class happened to be a very difficult personality. And I struggled greatly again. So I don't know. The universe clearly had some lessons in this for me on recognizing my value and worth, not from what other people think or not. Not turning other people's poor behavior into a reflection of me and my value and worth, I guess is what I meant to say. So yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, a lot of lessons, old stuff resurfacing from the past, old feelings, which have been really challenging for me. Stuff I thought I'd moved on from that I worked through that has just been like really coming to the surface again lately. And I don't understand why. And so, anyways, yesterday, I really just took a day for myself. I went and did all my adulting. I went and did all my grocery shopping and cooking for the week. And I came home and I meditated. I just sat and I meditated and I journaled all my anger, all my frustration. And I got a little bit of clarity. I got some clarity on why maybe some of these things from the past have been resurfacing. And maybe I've struggled in the past to look at my part in some of these things, and I thought I had, but more revealed itself through my journaling process. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I felt like sharing that with you guys today. Maybe some of you have been really struggling in the past couple of weeks with old emotions and old people from the past resurfacing and things you thought you'd moved on from coming back up. And I'm curious what you found was your lesson in that, or what your revelation was in that. Because these things come up for a reason. They don't just come up for nothing. And if we're brave enough to take the time to look at it and really look at it from every angle possible, we might see some new information that we missed in the past. And maybe that's why it came up, right? I know for me, that definitely is accurate. I saw some things that I maybe didn't see in the past. I got to see things from a different angle, and a bit of a part that I played in something collapsing or falling apart. And I don't know, it just gave me a little bit more peace, I guess, and the ability to just let go of this again and let go of any expectation of outcomes, and which is hard for me. It's really, I struggle a lot with letting go of outcomes. So anyways, I had two decks in mind this morning, and then I don't know, spirit changed it up on me and guided me to use this deck. So I have no idea what's going to come out in this reading. Typically I relate these cards to more of a love reading or personal relationship reading, but actually just dawned on me, everything I just shared talks about relationships or difficult people or struggling with others. So you know what? Maybe this deck is significant then. Maybe this is why I felt guided to use this deck. So let's get into it. Spirit, why did you guide me to this deck this morning? What is in this deck that the collective needs to hear? Why did you guide me? And there's cards that flipped over. Let me see. I know I saw multiple cards that had flipped over. Make sure I get them all because they're clearly significant. Okay, I think I got them all. All right. Let's see. So the cards that have come out today are secrets, exposure, being judged, hidden truth. The next card out is air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The next card out is decisions, holding back, coming towards you, indecisive, procrastinating. Oh my God, I feel like I know where this is going. Oh boy, okay. Next card out is guarded, past trauma, building up walls, defensive, blocked heart chakra. And then dreams, visiting you, spirit world, receiving downloads, confirmation. And then separation, silence, longing for you, distance. And then evidence, law enforcement, temptation, criminal history, avoiding the 12, which I don't even know what that means, avoiding the 12. But I don't know. The key words on here are not really sticking with me with this reading. This is not what I wanted to do today at all. I had no intentions of doing any kind of a love reading but unfortunately that's the cards that have seemed to have come out today. To me, I feel like I am picking up heavily on an energy of somebody from your past, a relationship, and maybe it doesn't have to be romantic and related to love. This could be any kind of a relationship with a person, friendship, work relationship, romantic relationship. But this person held back from you, and air signs could be significant. Maybe you're an air sign, maybe they're an air sign. I don't really like to assign signs, though, to be quite honest. I don't know. I feel like it limits the reading. So, but it needed to come out. So air signs could be significant to whoever's watching this reading. What I'm feeling though is that you and this person have a very deep connection. You dream about one another. You felt this spiritual bond with this person, but maybe you or them have been incredibly guarded through this process. But I feel like this person, the person that ran, because there's a runner and a chaser dynamic here that I'm feeling. The person that ran from this is the one sitting in this kind of like, I think Nine of Swords, like that, like sitting up at night, restlessness, can't sleep, these thoughts of this relationship and what it meant and how they missed the importance of this connection. Or this could be a business partner that chose to walk away from you and your business idea. But they're sitting in this regret now, or I don't know. I do feel more romance from this romantic energy of somebody that was just very secretive in the past. They withheld things from you. They kept you at arm's length. They breadcrumbed you. The minute things started to feel like they were getting close, they pulled back from you. They had these walls up. They had this very guarded energy. And unfortunately, it led to you walking away. It led to a separation. And you could be the person watching this right now that did the running away. I mean, both people could be watching this reading right now. But maybe you're looking for that confirmation that, like, are you crazy? Like, why do you keep thinking about this person? It's been so long. Like, why does this keep coming up? Why do thoughts of this person keep resurfacing? You thought that time and distance would make this better, would make this easier for you to walk away from this. But sadly, that's not the case. I think you're dreaming more heavily of this person if you're the person that ran. If you're the other person, you could also be lately all of a sudden picking up heavily on this person's energy and going, what the hell is happening? I did the work on this. I moved on from this. I released this person. Why all of a sudden are they coming up so heavily in my energy field again? Why am I thinking about this person again? Why are readings popping up in my feed about love again and this same storyline? Of a person sitting in regret, sitting in, maybe in the past they were such a procrastinator and they would wait too long. They would leave things for too long unsaid, and they would be sitting in this silence, leaving you in the dark, leaving you in the silence, until it was too late, until they sat in that silence for so long, being indecisive, not being able to make a decision. You chose yourself and you chose to walk away, which was the right decision. That was the point of this. It was to teach you to choose yourself and walk away from this, even though you didn't want to, even though you loved this person perhaps, and you felt this deep bond, you felt this spiritual connection, you knew what this was, but you couldn't make this person see. No matter what you did, no matter what approach you tried to take, and I'm really picking up that you tried many approaches. You tried just, pulling back and like letting this person have their time. You tried speaking up to them. You tried so many different angles to get through to this person to try and make them see the importance of this connection. But it didn't matter what you did. Every time you tried, it was like they put more walls up. They created more distance. But now they're sitting in this separation. They're sitting in this silence now, longing for you, longing for reconnection with you, longing for the chance to speak up with you. But it's almost like they've left it for so long now that they don't even know how to step forward anymore. And I feel like the evidence card is they're looking for signs. They're trying to see different signs or evidence from the universe that they should come forward. And please don't go forward. Like, you don't reach out to this person. I really strongly feel that this person needs to be the one. This is part of their lesson. This is part of their growth. You can't make this easy for them like you did in the past. This person needs to be the one to come forward. This person needs to be the one to put their pride aside, their ego aside, and come forward with truth. And if they can't do that, then they don't get the opportunity to reconnect with you. And that's something I feel very importantly with this. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Is there anything else, Spirit, that needs to come out from this deck in regards to this reading? Oh yeah, the obsession card just flipped over. This person, I think, is like really heavily thinking about you, replaying conversations, looking at photos, old conversations. I feel like this person is like, they know they effed up. They know what they lost. They know what they walked away from now. They see it. They understand. After all this time, them not being able to let go of you, they get it now. They get who you are to them. They get the importance of this connection now. And I do feel they knew it in the past too. They sensed there was a spiritual connection. They sensed there was a bond between the two of you, but they were afraid of it. They were so afraid of it because it meant healing. It meant rising. And instead they chose comfort. Maybe you can relate to this person chose another person, but the person they chose was old patterns for them, old, toxic, comfortable behaviors for them. So it felt easier in the moment, and they thought that they were picking the right choice and moving towards something easier, but it was wrong. They were meant to rise. They were meant to see the healing, see that you were calling them to rise, see that they were being called to heal. But because you triggered those things and shined a light on the things that needed to be healed, they didn't like it. And they kind of blamed you for why these things fell apart. They thought maybe in the past you were being controlling or trying to change them in some way, but you weren't. And they see that now. They see that all you were doing was trying to just love them and help them be the best version of themselves. But back then, they took it as you're trying to change me and fix me, and I am who I am, and you take it or leave it kind of thing, because they were too set in their ways and in their ego to rise to the occasion. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't make this up. Third party came out in twin flames. I can't make this crap up, guys. Yes. What did I just say? This person walked away to a third party. This person didn't choose you. This person chose easier, but easier ended up being the wrong choice. And they know that now. because I'm strongly sensing this person they walked to was toxic, and they didn't see it right away because it felt comfortable. Something felt familiar and comfortable with this other person, but they're seeing it now. They're seeing now that this person they chose over you was the wrong choice and a toxic choice. And now they're sitting in all this regret in their decisions, and they know that you're their twin flame now. And I strongly feel like you tried to tell them this in the past and they didn't want to hear it. They had no interest in hearing about twin flames. They thought you were nuts. They thought that you were just obsessed with them. They had no idea how right you were, that you saw things back then. You were way more mature spiritually than they were back then. So you saw things they couldn't see, but they didn't believe you and they didn't trust it. But this is a confirmation that this is your twin flame, and they see it now too. Wow. Is there anything else from this deck, Spirit? Justice. Justice. You are going to get justice in this, guys. You're going to get your justice in whatever way that is, whether it's just a conversation, finally, a conversation you've been waiting for such a long time, to vindicate you, to validate your feelings, to tell you that you were right all along and you weren't crazy. Because I feel like some of you literally have been thinking, am I fucking crazy? Did I make all of this up? This person is not interested in me. This person moved on with someone else. I'm the only one still hanging on to this. Am I crazy? And that's what you've been thinking and feeling, is that you're crazy because you haven't been able to let go of this. But you haven't been able to let go of this because this is a connection. This is real. This is a twin flame connection, and they are not easy connections, my friends. They are not. They are challenging. They are painful. But if you guys can come back together, they are going to be one of the most beautiful unions you've ever experienced. But you're going to get your justice. And for some of you, it's going to be union. It's going to be a conversation that shifts everything and allows you guys to leave the things in the past that happened in the past and step forward into a new forgiving energy. And for others of you, it's just going to be the closure that you need so you can finally let go of this and move forward with somebody else. It's going to be different for all of you. But for the majority of you, I do feel like you haven't been able to move on. You haven't met anybody else, which I can relate to. You want to, like, you've been trying to move forward with your life because you've seen that they've moved on and you're trying to do the same, but nothing is happening. The universe isn't putting anybody in your path. They're not giving you a new option. And you've just been stuck with yourself and your thoughts, which can be hard sometimes and painful, knowing that there was somebody else, but you're sitting here alone. And how frustrating that is when you're like, I'm the one doing the work. I'm the one, but please know they're not happy. It might seem that way from the outside, that they've moved on, that they're with somebody else and they get to be loved and they get to have a relationship, but it's a lie. It's an illusion. It's an illusion to make you believe that everything's good, but it's not. Spirit is really wanting me to talk about that it's not good, that they are not happy. Oh, interesting. Children card was flipped out on the top. So, I don't know. I hate to say this, but for some of you, this person might have got this other person pregnant. There could be a child coming, and that's what's like keeping them, like, this is why they're in such regret, because they recognize they effed up. They've now created a baby with somebody they don't even want to be with anymore. And how are they going to be able to move forward with you, knowing that they have this obligation and responsibility to this child now with somebody they don't even want to be with? For others, children could just be significant in some way. Maybe you have children with this person, and that's what keeps you two tied together. For others, I'm really strongly picking up on inner child healing. that you both have done this inner child healing now. It took the masculine a lot longer to get there, the divine masculine, than the divine feminine. But because you, divine feminine, rose and did the healing work and did the inner child work, and you are a mirror for your twin flame, every time you rose up a level, it inspired them energetically to do the same. And things would start happening in their lives to like shine a light on the things that needed to be healed, whether you were in their life or not, because that's how connected you two are to one another. And this person is finally seeing that. They're finally picking up on that. All right, I'm going to get into, this is not what I expected this reading to be at all. Holy moly. I know I'm not usually a channel that does love readings, but I don't know. There's this energy in the air lately that I keep feeling, that I keep tapping into. It's messing me up a little bit because it's really bringing me back to my twin flame person and that journey. And again, I thought I did the work on it to move on from it. So I don't know why it's coming up for me again too. But it's been very heavy in my energy in the last 3-4 weeks. And I just keep trying to work through it. And I've been journaling a lot about it and my feelings and what's been coming up, and, you know, really looking at all the angles of what happened between us and recognizing my part in some of it. And it's been helping. Honestly, it's been helping. And I'm releasing any expectations as well. I have no expectations of outcome here. But this is crazy that I had intentions of using this deck this morning with my Unity Oracle deck, and somehow Spirit was like, no, you're going to go and you're going to grab this deck of cards and we're going to do a reading with that deck. And I was like, okay, all right, let's switch it up. Let's do a reading with that deck. And I knew it in my heart. I knew a love reading was coming out. So again, you know me, I try to stay away from the love readings, but if it's meant to come out, it's meant to come out. And I feel like there's a lot of us in this energy right now of like, why the fuck has this come back up again? Why are we dealing with this again? And maybe it's because you've been holding on to anger that you need to forgive and you need to release. Maybe you thought you're not angry anymore, but you are. And I discovered that I was harboring a little bit of resentment and anger. But then I also had to look at my part in things too. And it made me less angry towards the other person because I just saw him from a different view. And I think I've been able to let go of that final bit of anger and resentment that I was holding towards this person, you know, so that if one day we ever did have a conversation, I'm coming from a loving space, not an angry, resentful space. Okay, let's see what flipped over. The Hermit, I think. Oh no, 5 of Cups. Okay. Card on the floor, which is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, and then the 3 of Cups on the bottom. 6 of Cups. Oh my goodness. 6 of Cups on the bottom. The Lovers. Wow. Okay. I'm going to do one more shuffle. Tell me the story, Spirit. Tell me the story that I can share with this collective about this reading. Oh, wow. The Empress has come out. Ooh, the Devil and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Cups kind of, you know, sitting in sadness, sitting in regret, you know, doing a lot of thinking, doing a lot of deep thinking. And I think this is your person's energy, the divine masculine's energy, just finally taking that time to be alone and really thinking and contemplating about the past and choices and who you are to them and what you meant to them and the choices they made. And I believe Page of Pentacles is like new realizations, new perspectives, new ways of seeing things. And I feel like this person, and I don't even know if that's what that card means, but that's what I'm getting from it. Let me just see, what does the Page of Pentacles is manifesting new opportunities, beginnings, good news, ambitions, skills, training, financial opportunities, new career paths, new connections, exploration stage, a beginner, earth magic, making plans a reality. Okay, yeah. This person is seeing things from a different angle. There's new opportunities. They want a new opportunity with you. They're trying to manifest that new opportunity with you. They're dreaming a lot about you. They're very nostalgic about you. They're remembering the happy times that you brought into their life. And they're remembering the connection. They're remembering the deep connection that you two shared. And the crazy part is that I just heard they asked for this. When you came into their life, it was probably a time where they were coming out of a painful relationship. They prayed to the universe to have someone like you show up in their life, and you did. And then they were like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with this. This is scary. I don't like this anymore. And they ran from it. But they actually called you in, and the universe gave them this gift, which was you, and they couldn't see it. It scared them so deeply that they got this gift so quickly, this manifestation, because you showed up as the Empress even back then. And they didn't know how to hold an Empress, even though that's what they called in. They wanted their divine feminine to step into their lives. They showed up with toxicity. They met you with toxicity. But they're healing that now. They're recognizing that now. And I do feel in my heart that this person is really working on themselves to be a better person, because this is what they want to give you. They want to give you the 10 of Pentacles. They want to offer you everything. And they know they need to come in and they need to do this correctly. And if they don't do the work first, they can't come forward, because they're just going to mess it up again and they're just going to run again. So they are really working on themselves right now, mastering themselves, mastering their skills, working on, why they did the things they did. Why did they run from a love like yours? Why are they so afraid to heal? Why are they so afraid to look at the past? Why are they so afraid to be seen and to be so loved? They're doing all of this now, though, because the 10 of Pentacles is their ultimate goal, and you are the person that they see that with. What a reading. I'm not even going to go any further. I'm going to end it there. I love you guys. I hope this helps somebody out there. I don't ever want to feed delusions or illusions or any of that Delulu stuff. But I didn't even want to use this deck today. And the fact that Spirit guided me to this deck at the last minute, that has to mean something. And I don't do love readings. So when these love readings show up, they mean something to me. They really do, because these are not the kinds of readings that I typically do on this channel. So I really feel somebody out there needs to hear this message from somebody like me that isn't a love reader, that isn't doing this all the time, because this message is going to hit a little harder, because this is not a common reading that I do. So if you're new to me, if you've just discovered me and this reading found you, I think 10 times more important for somebody like you to listen to this and really take this information in. Don't doubt anymore. Don't let fear get in the way. Keep living your life. Don't go putting yourself back in the waiting room for this person. But I strongly feel a conversation is coming, whether it's you get back together or whether it's just closure so you can move on. You're going to be able to put the end to this chapter finally. And that's what's more important than anything. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. Mwah.